The Chapter 36 leak will be out in a few hours. And for the next few minutes or so, let's start with an interesting prediction to guess what's going to happen. Especially in my last video, I also discussed the highlights of Chapter 35, specifically Boruto's mission to let Sarada be kidnapped by Code. And the climax lies in Boruto's true plan. Is he just going to rescue Sarada and bring her back to Konoha, or is there something much bigger that Boruto is planning to do? Yeah, one of my predictions is that he'll discover the true location of the Divine Tree's base, a mystery that remains unsolved so far. What's actually inside that black cube? And what if Boruto destroys it? Does that mean erasing or destroying the Shinju's existence? Or something else? Yeah, as long as there's no confirmation from Ikemoto, all we can do is speculate and analyze it, right? By the way, I'm Nim without the E. Help me reach 100 likes or 1k hype points. Thanks a lot, guys. And so regarding predictions for Chapter 36, maybe we'll start with something simple but quite significant. And once again, it's the cover. Since Hidari was on the cover of Chapter 35, this indirectly proves that Ikemoto has revealed that starting with Chapters 35 and 36, a new arc will begin. An arc that certainly isn't just a straight path, but rather one with branches. Yeah, I'm sure you know what I mean. And here are at least 3 key characters who play significant roles as cover art to represent the entire Chapter 36, starting with Amado or Koji, Boruto, and oh yeah, disclaimer. My character selection is based on analysis and I have my reasons. First and foremost is Amado. This might take a while, but in short, the reason I chose Amado for the cover is that he hasn't been featured on it for quite some time since the time skip. That means his role has truly been held back until reaching its climax. And at this point, he's truly in the perfect spot. I mean, all this time we've known that he's been obsessed with his daughter, who died long ago from a rare disease. He's tried all sorts of things, maybe even dozens of times, to find a way to bring his daughter back to life. And ever since the experiment involving Kawaki's karma was revealed and clearly showed great potential for success in bringing his daughter back, Amado's focus has been entirely on Kawaki. Well, more precisely, it's Kawaki's karma that must be transplanted into the vessel of Amado's daughter. And as proof, in the last few chapters, Amado has been very cautious and not reckless, especially when Kawaki realized that his immense potential was being limited by Amado. In other words, even though Kawaki has immense offensive potential, Amado as a scientist won't absolutely allow Kawaki to reach that level. Because behind all of that, there are certainly major consequences for Kawaki himself. But even so, I'm truly amazed at how Ikemoto crafted a scenario that I think most fans never even considered before, right? And that's the Toad Amado created in Chapter 35. Using a clone of Koji's Toad, Amado can instantly boost, or more accurately, control, Kawaki's power to 100% anytime, anywhere. The same goes for his defense. Now, the interesting part, after Kawaki's problem had found a genius solution, Amado actually took a step that I think remains a mystery, and that's Koji. A cyborg he originally created solely to kill Jigen is actually hiding behind the scenes, and not many people know about him. And once again, Amado actually knows that he's still alive. As for why Koji had to serve as a cover in this chapter, it's certainly all based on other reasons behind Amado's mission to achieve his goal. Also, what will Amado do to Koji? Because if we think it's just an interrogation or something like that, I think that's very cliche and uninteresting, right? So what's going to happen? In my opinion, there's a high probability that Amado's goal isn't just to confirm that Koji is still alive. Instead, he might want to get Koji to cooperate with him once again. It does sound pretty unlikely, but if we look at the current situation, Koji is the only person who knows so much information about the future Shinju and even Boruto's plans. And of course, Amado is the type of person who would never let information that important slip out of his control. Moreover, don't forget that Koji is a cyborg created by Amado himself. In other words, their relationship hasn't truly ended. In fact, it's possible that everything that's happened so far is just part of Amado's much larger plan. On the other hand, there's another possibility that I find far more interesting. What if Koji was never planning to help Amado in the first place? What if it's actually the other way around? What if Amado is trying to take back something that Koji has possessed all this time? Whether it's data, an ability, or even the knowledge of the future that Koji gained through prescience. Honestly, I don't think there's enough evidence to draw a conclusion just yet. But if I had to pick one possibility, I'd say it's highly unlikely that Amado could take that ability away, let alone wield it himself. What do you guys think? Next up is my second prediction, Boruto. But first, a disclaimer. In the next chapter, we can't yet be sure whether the story will focus solely on Sarada's kidnapping or solely on Koji's kidnapping, or if both will actually be revealed in a single chapter. But in this case, let's say the story focuses on Sarada, and Boruto is a very relevant character for the next cover. Because considering what Boruto will do, it will certainly have a major impact on the story after Koji is kidnapped. Because, once again, letting Sarada get kidnapped and having Boruto show up just to rescue her and bring her back to Konoha doesn't make sense and actually sounds ridiculous. What's actually interesting is that there's something Boruto does there, whether it's just rescuing Sarada, or even if that also becomes the moment he kidnaps Hidari. Yeah, you heard that right. As I mentioned before, I expected this to become one of the most epic moments in the story. Not just because Boruto rescues Sarada or discovers the location of the Black Cube, but because capturing Hidari and destroying him for a second time would be an incredible plot twist. It could even be the key to saving Sasuke and bringing him back. I know the idea of Konoha kidnapping Hidari might sound ridiculous, but who knows? And lastly, there's Shikamaru. Yeah, I think we should still leave room for Shikamaru to make the cover and not underestimate him, because you need to remember, Shikamaru is Koji's right-hand man, especially since he became part of Team Koji. After Koji was kidnapped, this should be the hardest part for Shikamaru to make a decision. And I admit that the main consideration is whether Ikemoto will give him a role in this situation, because after all, we still need him while Koji is temporarily out of the picture, right? And yeah, that's at least a brief prediction for the character who will be on the cover of the next chapter. If you have suggestions for other characters, I'll wait for them in the comments. As for predictions about the story moving forward, there aren't many, and I'm sure most of you can already guess them. Starting with the first one, Koji will be at Amado's lab in the next chapter. Second, after Koji meets Amado, these two scenarios might play out. Koji helps Amado and explains why he's been hiding all this time, or Amado might actually take Koji's ability, transfer it to another cyborg, or even use it for himself. And honestly, that second point is hard to believe. But what do you guys think? Third, Code hides within Konoha while waiting for the perfect opportunity to kidnap Sarada. Fourth, once Code finally succeeds in kidnapping Sarada, Boruto most likely won't try to rescue her right away. In fact, this is probably the plan he had from the very beginning. Boruto will deliberately let Code take Sarada to the Shinju hideout. Then once he feels the timing is right, he'll instantly teleport there and reveal another one of Momoshiki's abilities. But what exactly is that ability and what does it do? I don't think the fourth point will be revealed this early or this soon. Yeah, don't you agree? But what do you guys think? And yep, that's at least a brief prediction for chapter 36. If you have predictions that are way more interesting, I'm really looking forward to hearing them. Thanks for watching, like and subs. I'm Nim without an E. See you in the next video. Bye-bye, Data Bio.